A cup of hot cocoa. Winter is here. Welcome. In today's video, I would love us to get into my fragrance diary. This is a series that I've been doing that helps me keep up with my collecting and just has helped me really understand fragrance. I feel like I'm a little bit of a newbie, but I'm not a newbie. Always had a big collection, but now I'm doing it better because I'm older, so I know better. Hello there, my name is Ijeoma. I'm a beauty lover, a skincare influencer, a woman of a certain age, and a pro makeup artist. And I feel like all those things give me an authority to do what I'm doing on my channel. So we are talking about September and October. But first, before we get into the fragrances, I would like to do a little bit of housekeeping. Forgive the lack of fragrance videos of late. I have been playing with my collection. I am working on some videos. They'll be coming to you sooner or later. I just like to take my time. A girl has only one nose and she's rather patient with it. Another thing that I've been doing in the last 2 months is decanting my fragrances, and I've really enjoyed doing that. I was inspired by AI the Great. I will link her video down below. She did a video about how to make your fragrances last longer, and she spoke about walking around with a decant of the fragrance of the day in her handbag. So I've been doing that and it's been really good. It's been scratching a really nice, I'm a fragrance collector kind of itch. I'll get more into that over the course of this video. Another apology. This video is slightly late. We are in November, but forgive me. It's been busy. A girl is planning greatness, and sometimes that comes with a bit of lateness. Ooh, that rhymed. One last thing, I am making my videos a little bit more different, my fragrance diary videos that is. I hope you like my new style of bringing it to you. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. And with that being said, let's finally get into the fragrances that IJ wore in September and October. Considering that it's so late and I'm already in my November rotation, let's start with the fragrance that I'm putting back in my cupboard because the weather is just not right for it. This is Asian Provocateu Blue Silk. Now this is a very interesting fragrance. Slightly, I would say it's a slight departure from what Asian Provocateu is used to doing. This has a very clean, very laundry-like smell. Very woody, aromatic. It's different. It's definitely different. It also has this strange sugary vibe that can be quite hit or miss. It's polarizing. Veronica says, I'll link her channel down below. She felt like this smells like hot sugared breath. I know. But yet again, my initial description of the fresh, laundry, woody type of vibe, that experience was also shared by Lulu. I'll also link her channel down below. So you can see what I mean by polarizing. This fragrance has that going for it. Some people will love it and some people will hate it. And of course, every fragrance is like that. But this Asian Provocateu tends to create somewhat of a same vibe for everyone, but it's a little bit of a departure from what they're used to doing, and I don't mind it. It's not my favorite from the collection. I am gathering my Asian Provocateu collection so I can do a video for all of you, one of the videos that I'm working on, and this is definitely not one of my faves out of all of them, but it's okay. It's okay. Next up is a backbone in my fragrance collection. This is Kobako by Bourjois. I just finished a bottle, so I had to take this out from my backup so I could show you how the bottle looks like, and we can talk about it in this video. This is an old school floral, white floral, very aldehydic, very slightly animalic. I won't say it's very animalic, slightly animalic. It has that classic base that IJ loves. It's got civet and oak moss in the base. I have to spray it to remind myself. Actually, you know what? I decanted the rest of the other bottle, so let me get the decant, then we can spray it. Here's the decant. Let's spray it and remind ourselves. I don't even need reminding, but every time I smell that, the amount of joy it brings to me. Very classy. grown woman, pole neck, pearls, pencil skirt, nice flat shoes, simple black bag, signature scent worthy. She's got cinnamon, lots of florals, it's aldehydes. Absolutely gorgeous fragrance, smells extremely expensive all year round. I will always have this fragrance. If you ask me now, top 3 quickly, Kobako is definitely in that top 3. It's just a stunner. She is a beautiful fragrance and I always want to be with her, hence the backup bottle. And I'm probably going to buy another backup bottle with the Christmas sales. Love that fragrance. Next up is Vert de Bois by Tom Ford. This is my only Tom Ford. Tom Ford is spendy. This was a gift. It is such a beautiful fragrance, very masculine, but it's a fragrance that women can get away with. It has woodsy notes in it, but there's a plum note in it that makes it, that gives it that edge that allows a woman to get away with it. But it's very, very damp, very mysterious, very woodsy, just a stunning fragrance. There's something cold about it as well. It's not like a warm, spicy situation. No, something a bit rigid about it, but yet inviting. You know that's where it gets its mystery from. It's like you're trying to figure it out. It's just, I love Vert. Vert is a gorgeous fragrance. She is definitely for the girls who do not mind smelling a little bit masculine. If you don't like masculine scents, this is definitely not for you, but it's definitely for me. I feel like it works all year round. I am going to be consulting with my piggy bank because this is a fragrance that I would like to have a backup bottle just to pull out on those days where I really need to show up. This is a I want to show up type of fragrance. This is not Kawa and this is a big and mighty, not small and mighty, big and mighty. Gorgeous fragrance, absolutely love it. Let's talk about another fragrance that I finished. This is Orris and Vetiver by Bahoma, London. I fell in love with this bottle even more towards the end. As I'm growing in my fragrance journey, I understand fragrances more, and this has got to be one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. Warm, spicy, earthy. The Vetiver and the Orris are almost overdone in this fragrance, and that's what makes me like it even more. Absolutely unisex, perfect for this weather. You can get away with it as well in the summer, in the heat. Also, there's something about it that's very all-round. It's very date night. You can wear it to an office, you can wear it to church, you can wear it to a family event. There's just something about it, and people will say, oh, you smell good. There's also a really fresh vibe that also comes out to it because the top has neroli and mandarin as well in it. Just a beautiful fragrance. Another one that I decanted in my decant collection. I took out the last of the bottle. I am going to be buying another bottle with the Black Friday sales or the Christmas sales. Absolutely love this fragrance. Oh, beautiful to bed. Have I said that as well? Oh, you just feel like you're clean and you smell really, really good. And it warms up beautifully with the body chemistry. I absolutely love this fragrance. September and October were really, really good to me. I wore some really beautiful fragrances. Absolutely love that. Next up is First by Van Cleef. Now this is a vintage formulation that I have in this bottle that I had to decant in this bottle. As you can tell, I was doing a lot of decanting because the original bottle, the cap failed on me. But this is another beautiful old school white floral, very animalic, very aldehydic. It's classy, fresh, soapy. Got to spray it to remind thyself because oh, that was good. Really, really smells beautiful. Very classy. Oh, the levels of classy. The florals in this are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So many notes are in this as well. Over 21 notes, but it's been done well. It's it speaks of its time. It speaks of when florals were done well. They were not too sweet, they were fresh, they just, you know, they celebrated the grownness of a woman. Ah, beautiful. When I was planning to do this video, I thought that we could smell First and Kobako together because I feel like they're quite similar. So this is First and this is Kobako. No, Kobako is a little bit more grounded, not as soapy, not as floral as First. Yeah, they're different. Something told me they might be similar, but they're not. They're quite different. They're in the same family, that very bright, soapy, animalic floral, but they are two different creatures. Definitely two different creatures. But First is definitely worth getting if you like a classy, floral, soapy situation with a little bit of grown woman vibe in there, because I'm also considering getting a new bottle because this is a vintage formulation and I believe they still make this fragrance. So I want to get the new formulation and see if they're similar, because I don't have much of this. I only had a 30 ml of the vintage formulation. The heart aches. The heart aches. Next up is L'Elephant by Kenzo. This is such a gorgeous thing and it makes me very happy because it reminds me of my childhood. I'm half Kenyan, and in Kenya we drink chai, proper chai, not white people chai, like a hot, spicy, milky, strong tea with a lot of sugar, and that's what this reminds me of. L'Elephant is a spice bomb. A lot of spices are in this. There's clove, there's cardamom, and there's such a fun note of mango in this, so it makes it a bit juicy, gives it a little bit of a watery vibe, ever so slightly. But there's also so many other sweet notes in this, like ylang ylang, there's vanilla as well, I believe there's cinnamon as well. So I feel like it can get borderline syrupy, like a little bit too sweet, especially with the cold, because this is perfect for cold weather fragrance. Like if you like to smell super sweet in the cold, get you L'Elephant. But yet again, not everyone, including me, likes to smell extremely sweet, and I felt this was getting a little bit too sweet for me. So I think I prefer to wear this when the weather is not too cold, maybe earlier in the year, around September, April time as well, around when it's not too hot, not too cold. That's when I really enjoy L'Elephant. But a beautiful fragrance, definitely worth getting if you like spice bombs, if you like sweet spicy fragrances. It's also definitely gift worthy. I mean, look at that gorgeous bottle. It was done well and it's a classic for a reason. An absolutely beautiful fragrance. Before I carry on, I would like to mention that my fragrance diary series is in a playlist. I will link that down in the description box. And I would also like to mention that in every video, my description box is always full of information. It's full of the products I'm speaking about. It's full of information about me, information about the video, and any videos that I have mentioned, anything that is referenced in the video is in the description box. So always click on it if there's something that you're looking for. But feel free to leave me a comment and we can talk. Next up is a flanker of Cabotine, and this is Vivide. I believe I'm saying that right. Anywho, I got this because it has a C note and I was so excited. I thought, oh, a salty floral, that is going to be super duper cool. But I don't think I wore it in the right time of the year. It did not shine. I feel like it's too cold for it. It has some cute notes in it. There's fruity notes, there's lily of the valley, there's, I believe, a mandarin note, a citrus note of some sort. There's also sea salt, the sea notes that attracted me to buying it. But I have to wait till maybe summer, maybe spring to see if this fragrance will shine. It didn't do much for me right now. But it's along those sweet, soapy fragrances. So if you like that, you could get this on a whim. It's definitely not an offensive Not it's a fragrance that can definitely be a blind buy. You can buy it and not be offended, especially if you like sweet soapy fragrances. Definitely you can grab this. Not bad. I still don't fully understand it because I think I wore it in the wrong weather, so we will come back to that. Next up is a Chantilly by Dana. Now I got this for two reasons. I was inspired by Veronica. She wore this in high school as a young girl. Very brave of her because this is a very grown woman fragrance. And I also got this because so many people talk about Taboo by Dana, but nobody talks about any other fragrance. So I thought, let me buy a few fragrances from Dana and see. And Chantilly, well, was up for the buy. Not bad. Warm, spicy, animalic, grown woman fragrance. Definitely smells like the 80s. Something soapy about it as well. It lasts well on the skin. I think this is a perfect weather for it as well. There is something slightly dated about the fragrance, but it's not a bad fragrance. I really like it. In fact, it heavily reminds me of Bluegrass by Elizabeth Arden, but Bluegrass is a little bit more sweeter, a little bit more citrusy, a little bit more mumsy. This is more, I'm going out, you know, I'm going to have a good time, I'm going to have a drink. In the 80s, that is. Not in 2021. But not bad. I'm amused. If anything, I have learned something new, and that's what my journey is all about. Not just buying the popular fragrances, but, you know, really being invested in this journey and learning through the old classics and understanding notes. But yeah, that's Chantilly. Very interesting fragrance. Lots of notes in it. I think it has that classic base that I like of oak moss and civet. I'm not sure. I think so. But yeah, I'm glad I know her. I'm glad I know her. Let's talk about something about For the Sake of Vanity. This is 1989 by Theodoros Kalotinis. Now, this is a Greek house, Greek niche house, and Theodoros is the perfumer and the owner of this brand. And 1989 is both of our birth years. So it was very irresistible for me not to get this fragrance simply because of its name. Now, this is a very strong, heavy, patchouli based fragrance. The patchouli is there. It's gonna punch you in the face or it's gonna hug you, depending how you feel about patchouli. Personally, I like patchouli, and I really like the patchouli in this. It's very realistic, very earthy, very damp, very wet, slightly sweet, and I think the sweetness comes from the benzoin and the plum in this. Really beautiful fragrance. I really like it. You have to like patchouli to wear this. This is very unisex. Anyone can get away with it. This is office friendly as well. This is something that I feel like a man in a suit would smell absolutely gorgeous in. A man with a beard, ooh, kill her softly, please. Kill her softly. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I particularly enjoyed wearing it to bed. I felt like a rich auntie getting into bed. And I also enjoyed wearing it around the house. But every time I wore it in the house, I felt like, girl, are you supposed to be going somewhere? Aren't you a little bit underdressed for that fragrance? Really good, smells expensive, very, very patchouli. What can I say? Very, very patchouli. But yeah, that's 1989. Another gorgeous stunner that I enjoyed. As I keep saying, October, September, they were good to me. They were really, really good to me. Last but certainly not least, this is Histoire by Aubusson. This is another old school fragrance. This is granny territory. There's no two ways about it. Thankfully, I don't mind smelling like a granny, but this is serious granny territory. There's lots of notes in this as well, and I think what makes it a little bit more special is that there's honey in the base. I really like that there's honey in the base, but it's also very animalic. Big floral, animalic, granny territory is really, really beautiful. I think it's better in the cooler weather. Thankfully, I was able to experience this in slightly warmer weather in the early September. We had a little bit of a heat wave, and it was very animalic, borderline that I thought, should I go and shower? But I soldiered through. It's not for everyone. Even those who like animalic scents will need to approach this with caution, especially in the hot weather. But I think in the cooler weather, that's when you really get the florals of this. Really granny territory, I keep saying, but very nice. I like a very grown woman. It's not for everybody. It's not a fragrance I'm going to rush through because it's not easy to find. But I'm really glad I have it, and it's another one that I was encouraged by Veronica to get. Absolutely love that. Stubborn like me. And that's that. That's my fragrance diary for September and October. It was good. Most of them are beautiful. I really enjoyed the last 2 months. I will continue to ask for your patience as I work on creating some more fragrance content. Bear with me, it's coming. So what have you been wearing? Let me know down in the comment section what you think I should get with the Black Friday sales or the Christmas sales or the January sales. We are in the sales season. And if you have enjoyed my video, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ijeoma, and I'll see you soon.